on the way.
Boogeyman band coming round the bend. Is Boogeyman band. Is Boogeyman band.
For Philip Fright Beans, and thanks so much for dropping by. I hope everyone's doing well. As you can see, I'm not in the horror zone. I'm in my movie room, my horror vault, my office. Wanted to do this video because it's something that I've been promising a friend of mine for a long time. This is a requested horror movie review. My friend Jerry Klein, who I talked about last year, she reached out to me to review the film To Your Last Death, which was an animated horror film. It starred like Ray Wise, William Shatner, Bill Moseley, to name a few. And she was a social media coordinator on that film, and she had asked me last year to review it, and I did a review for it. I gave it 4 skulls. About July 17th of this year, she reached back out to me again to review this new film that she had done social media work for, and it was called Bloodborne. And I said that I would get around to watching it. I promised her I would, and she, was very accommodating. She understood that at the time we were going through, what I pretty much chronicled on this channel this entire year. We had our house being worked on. We weren't home at the time. We were actually in the hotel when she reached out to me. So I told her I would, make sure that I got to this review. So we're going about 2 months later. I'm finally getting to it. So Jerry, thank you so much for your patience. I did watch this film over the weekend, and I'm really happy to finally get the chance to talk about it here on the channel. A couple who are about to give up on their dream of having children find a douula who promises a magical solution to their infertility problems, but when she moves in for a series of strange, taxing rituals overseen by a charming but dangerous doctor, they find out that the magic is extremely risky and that the baby they're about to have might not be quite human. The movie stars Rosie Moss as Michaela, Anthony Perry as Eric, Melanie Haynes as Ola, and Cole Gerdays as Dr. Zekany. The movie was written by Reed Schusterman, who also directed the film. Now, while I thought the concept of the film was really interesting, I just felt like its execution was kind of just lackluster. Rosie Moss and Anton Perry as Michaela and Eric did fine jobs with the material, but I just really didn't care about their characters that much. I think at the beginning, you understand what they're going through. They haven't been able to successfully conceive a child. They're growing frustrated. They have this sort of last-ditch effort with this mysterious woman named Ola, who's going to be performing these rituals and these things, to help them conceive. And just as the movie went on and on, it wasn't scary. There wasn't a moment in this film that I thought was scary. And it just sort of got to a point where it was just kind of strange and silly, and I just couldn't tell what type of tone the filmmaker was going for. If it was supposed to be silly, if it was supposed to be serious, neither medium really worked for me in this film. The only character that I thought was kind of interesting was Cole Gerdays as Dr. Zekany. I thought he was really good in it, and I really liked when he showed up on screen because I thought he brought some energy, some much needed energy to this film. And so every time he was on screen, I was really invested. But just no disrespect to any of the actors, no disrespect to the filmmakers, but just kind of a chore to get through. I really had a hard time, being impacted by what this couple was put through by this douula, or Ola, as she's called in the film. These rituals that she puts them through, these fertility things that she's having them do with certain things that they eat and certain things that they can do while they're in this whole process of trying to conceive a child. There was very little to no impact. I just wasn't interested at a certain point. And what it ends up building to just really let me down in terms of what happens to the characters. I just really thought it just ends on this weird note, and I just didn't really buy it, unfortunately. I just felt like things were being made up on the spot. It didn't seem like it had a cohesive script, and it's not a film that I can really easily recommend. It's not something that I would want to watch again. So yeah, unfortunately, Bloodborne was not the film that I wanted it to be. It was a really interesting concept with a poor execution, in my opinion. While some of the performances were great, like Michaela and Eric and Dr. Zekany, I really thought that all 3 of those actors did a great job playing those parts. Everybody else, for me, I just didn't really care for. If I had to give this film a rating on my scale, I would give Bloodborne 1.5 skulls. So yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't a hit for me. It wasn't one that I would want to revisit anytime soon. If anybody else has seen Bloodborne, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let me know if you liked the film more than I did. Again, I'm not a film critic. I'm just giving my 100% honest opinion on horror films. I love horror films. I watch them because I love the genre, And if something delivers for me, I'm going to be honest with you. If something doesn't, I'm going to be honest with you. So this one just didn't deliver for me, unfortunately. Jerry, sorry that this didn't turn out to be a hit for me or a winner for me, but thank you so much for reaching out to me and asking me to review this film. And like I said, no disrespect to anybody that put their hard work into the film. It just wasn't a film for me, unfortunately. But thanks everyone for stopping by. I hope everyone's doing well. I promise you there's some great horror content coming up real soon. So take it easy. Stay scared as always.